where today we're heading to Amsterdam, the city famous for its canals, bicycles, and a museum for literally everything. Ever wanted to learn about cats in a formal setting? Amsterdam has you covered. Amsterdam, often called the Venice of the North, mainly by people who have never been to Venice, is a city built on water, history, and questionable cafe snacks. It's where the buildings lean more than people after a few local brews, thanks to the soggy, marshy foundations they're built on. It's charming, really, if your idea of charm is architectural vertigo. Now, let's get historical. Amsterdam's golden age in the 17th century was basically a highlights reel of trading spices, accumulating wealth, and painting chubby cherubs. Fast forward a few centuries and the city is still trading. But let's just say the commodities have evolved. Nightlife here is like nowhere else. Wanna feel like a character in a historical drama and a modern party animal at the same time? Hit up the red light district where the neon lights are bright and the morals are loose. Remember, it's all legal, but your grandma probably wouldn't approve. And the clubs? In Amsterdam, they really embrace the saying, go big or go home. You can dance until the sun comes up, literally, because some clubs don't stop until breakfast time. And if electronic music isn't your thing, don't worry. There are plenty of jazz clubs where you can nod along awkwardly instead. Don't forget the bars. Amsterdam has about as many bars as it has bikes, and that's saying something. The local beers are great, and the bartenders often throw in a free lecture on the city's brewing history, whether you ask for it or not. So, pack your raincoat, prep your liver, and get ready for a trip to Amsterdam. It's a city of culture, history, and nightlife that's sure to make your visit unforgettable, or at least memorable enough to piece together the morning after. Welcome to Amsterdam, where every cobbled street has a story, and every canal has seen more than you ever will. Leidseplein, it's like the Las Vegas of Amsterdam, minus the charm and the all-you-can-eat buffets. This is where you'll find an eclectic mix of street performers, live music, and bars that charge more for a beer than a full meal elsewhere. It's the perfect place to frolic if you enjoy paying twice the price for half the fun. Here, every night is an elaborate dance of dodging selfie sticks, avoiding aggressive flyer distributors and deciphering which menu offers the most authentic Dutch cuisine at the most inauthentic prices. Yes, that's right. Come to Leidseplein for the culture. Stay because you've accidentally spent all your money on a single cocktail. Leidseplein is renowned for its vibrant atmosphere, which is really just a nice way of saying you won't hear yourself think. It's home to a number of nightclubs that boast lines longer than your last customs queue. Inside, you can enjoy the unique experience of listening to global top 40 hits while packed in with a few hundred of your closest friends. Personal space? Please. You're left that at the door along with your coat and common sense. And let's not forget the array of dining options available. You can choose from every kind of international cuisine, each restaurant competing to see who can mark up their prices the most for bewildered tourists. My advice? Choose a place where the menu pictures don't look like they were taken during the last century. But no night in Leidseplein is complete without navigating through the swarms of partygoers who all thought coming here was a unique idea. You'll meet people from all corners of the globe, all united by the shared belief that this must be the place to be because, well, everyone else is here. So, grab your euros, prepare your liver, and dive into the controlled chaos that is a Leidseplein. Whether you end up sipping a drink at a sidewalk cafe, or shaking your groove thing until the early morning, one thing's for sure. You'll leave with lighter pockets, and maybe, just maybe, a story worth telling. Welcome to Leidseplein, where tourists frolic and locals definitely fear to tread. The red light district, or as the locals call it, the Wallen. Here, the streets are lined not just with cobblestones but with neon lights, each one casting a glow bright enough to read the regret on every tourist's face. It's like walking into a live-action version of your browser's incognito mode. This neighbourhood is famed not only for its liberal attitudes, but also for its historic canals. which are literally overshadowed by them all, illuminating attractions. Yes, this is the part of Amsterdam where your moral compass starts spinning, unsure whether it's okay to be this entertained by it all. Navigating the red light district is like playing a game of cultural dodgeball. On one side you have the live sex shows, which promise an experience so memorable, you'll probably want to keep it to yourself. On the other, a symphony of coffee shops, where the coffee is not the main draw, but rather the baked goods. And by baked goods I mean, well, you know. The district's nightclubs are just as colourful as its windows, offering beats as diverse as the clientele. From techno temples to hip-hop havens, there's a rhythm for every kind of night out. And if dancing isn't your thing, there are plenty of bars where you can sip a beer and people watch. Trust me, this place offers some prime people watching material, but what truly sets the red light districts apart is its casual blend of history with the kind of commerce you usually don't tell your mum about. It's where 14th century architecture meets 21st century entertainment, all wrapped up in a vibe that screams, what happens in Amsterdam stays in Amsterdam. But also maybe on your Instagram. So whether you're here for a cheeky peek, or just to see what all the fuss is about, the red light district welcomes all. Just remember to keep your jaw from hitting the floor too hard. It's not the most sanitary of streets. Come for the culture, stay for the stories and leave with a little bit more knowledge about human nature than you probably want. Welcome to the red light district, the highlight of any trip to Amsterdam, as long as you're not travelling with your parents. Rembrandtplein, it's like someone took a bunch of bars, clubs and terraces, threw them into a blender and poured the mix into a square, bustling with more energy than a toddler on a sugar rush. Named after the famous Dutch painter Rembrandt, who's probably turning in his grave thanks to the raucous nightlife his name now sponsors, this place is where you go to party, like it's $15.99, except with way better technology and slightly worse music. This vibrant square is packed with everything from swanky nightclubs, where the bass is so loud it resets your heartbeat, to chill pubs where the beer flows faster than the bartender's ability to keep up. It's the kind of place where if you're not losing your voice, you're not doing it right. Let's talk about the clubs. If you're into electronic music, you're in luck. Rembrandtplein offers an array of clubs, where the DJs spin tracks so fresh they haven't even been released yet. And if you're not into electronic music, well, tough cookies, because that's basically all you're gonna hear. And don't forget the bars. They range from the so classy they give you a real napkin kind to the sticky floor but who cares kind. You can start your evening sipping a sophisticated cocktail under the watchful eyes of Rembrandt's statue and end it singing karaoke with someone who swears they're a direct descendant of the artist himself. But Rembrandtplein isn't just about the nightlife. Oh no, it's also about the morning after. Enjoy the breakfast of champions, also known as anything you can eat while squinting in daylight, at one of the square's many cafes, where you can reminisce about the night's choices, both good and bad. So, if your idea of a good time involves bouncing from one bar to another, losing your friends, finding new ones and then repeating the process until you no longer remember your original plan, Rembrandtplein is your kind of place. Just remember, what happens in Rembrandtplein stays in Rembrandtplein. Except for the selfies, the new friends on social media and that inexplicable charge on your credit card. Welcome to Rembrandtplein, the beating heart of Amsterdam's nightlife. Because who needs sleep anyway? Jordaan, Amsterdam's quirky little neighbourhood that's too cool for the mainstream, but just mainstream enough to be cool. Imagine a picturesque postcard, then fill it with narrow streets, hidden courtyards, and the candy bars where everyone pretends they don't care about Instagram. But really, they do. This neighbourhood used to be a working class bastion. Now, it's where the old Amsterdam charm meets the wallets of those who drink craft beer ironically. By night, the Jordaan transforms from quaint to vibrant, offering an eclectic mix of old brown cafes, swanky bars, and everything artsy in between. These aren't your typical dance until dawn clubs. They're more like sip a sophisticated cocktail and nod appreciatively to the live band kind of places. It's where you go when you want to seem cultured, but end up just getting cultured in the local brews. Let's talk about the music scene. It's diverse. One moment you're listening to a band whose name you can't pronounce. The next, you're unintentionally swaying to folk music that makes you feel strangely nostalgic for a time you never lived in. The Jordaan doesn't just have a soundtrack, it has an entire playlist curated to make you feel like you're in an indie film. And the bars, oh the bars, they're as charming as they're packed. You'll squeeze through the door and find yourself in a room full of vintage decor that's probably older than the city's canal system. Here every drink tells a story, and if it doesn't, the bartender certainly will. Just nod and laugh, nod and laugh. Don't miss out on the culinary side of the Jordaan nightlife. The food ranges from traditional Dutch snacks that you eat out of necessity after one too many, to international cuisine that's there to remind you that yes, globalization is a thing, even in the most Dutch of neighborhoods. So if your ideal night involves less turn down for what, and more turn down the lights and talk about existentialism, then the Jordaan is your perfect match. It's the neighborhood where you go to enjoy the night, make a few friends, lose a few euros, and leave wondering whether you're hipster enough to live there. Welcome to the Jordaan, where every corner has a story and every bar has a beer you've probably never heard of. But you'll try anyway because, well, when in the Jordaan, NDSM Wharf, it's like the cool kid of Amsterdam's nightlife, dressed in street art, industrial chic, and an ambience that screams, I used to be a shipyard but now I'm too trendy for my own good. This place is where old shipping containers go to die and are reborn as hipster cafes, edgy art spaces, and venues that are probably cooler than most of us will ever be. So, what's the deal with NDSM Wharf at night? Imagine a playground, but for adults with a penchant for craft beers and organic food trucks. The vibe here is less let's do shots, and more let's discuss the socio-economic implications of this reclaimed urban space over a locally brewed IPA. It's the kind of place where you can attend a rave in an abandoned warehouse at midnight and still feel like you're contributing to the local economy. And let's talk about the venues. They range from, oh, this used to be part of a ship to, wow, is that a crane turned into a nightclub? At NDSM Wharf, you don't just go out, you embark on an adventure. It's where the music is always underground, literally and figuratively, and every event feels like it could be an art installation. The crowd here is an eclectic mix of art students, young professionals, and seasoned partygoers, all united by their love for something a little different. They're the type who wear sunglasses at night, not to block out the strobe lights, but to maintain an air of mystery as they move from one venue to the next. Transport to NDSM Wharf involves a ferry ride, adding an element of I'm on an adventure to your evening. It's like a mini cruise with a view of Amsterdam's skyline, just enough time to start regretting your footwear choice as you head to a night of exploring the wharf. In summary, if you're tired of the conventional club scene and hungry for something that offers a little more grit and a lot more personality, NDSM Wharf is your go-to destination. Just remember to dress warmly. Those waterfront breezes don't care about your nightlife aspirations. Welcome to NDSM Wharf, where every night is an industrial chic revolution. So, there you have it. A guide to Amsterdam's nightlife that's as reliable as the city's weather forecast. Whether you're here to party like it's 1999 or just sip on a craft beer and judge the tourist, Amsterdam's got you covered. Smash that like button. If you've ever found yourself accidentally biking home at sunrise, subscribe for more travel tips that your parents definitely wouldn't approve of, and drop a comment below with your craziest Amsterdam story. Until next time, keep your tulips up and your spirits higher. Prost! Catch you on the flip side, where the parties never stop and neither does the fun, or the regret. But mostly the fun.